Hi, I'm James, and today we're going to do an in-depth walkthrough of the Mercedes-Benz Regal Dual 2-berth motorhome. The vehicle we utilise for the motorhome is a Mercedes-Benz 519 long wheelbase rear-wheel drive cab chassis. Fitted on the passenger side of the motorhome is a 12-volt carefree electric awning with an LED strip running along the barrel. Also fitted below the awning are two awning LEDs. In the entry is a LED grab handle. There is also an electric fold-out step. To the right of the electric step are two storage lockers. Just above the two external storage lockers is an external entertainment box. So I've brought one of the TVs from inside out and mounted it onto the adjustable TV bracket. And just below the double power point is a 12-volt socket and a TV aerial. To the right of the entertainment box is one of the external speakers. Just above that is a 12-volt socket, a double USB port, and a 10-amp outlet. Then over to the right is a drop-down picnic table. And to the right of that is that other external speaker. Just below that other external speaker is an external barbecue bayonet. So that is linked up to the two 4.5 kilo gas bottles that are fitted onto the driver's side of the motorhome, which we'll get to in a moment. Just below the barbecue bayonet are some mud flaps, and this being the 519 long wheelbase rear wheel drive variant, the Mercedes features a dual wheel setup at the rear. At the rear in the center of the motorhome is the spare wheel. To the left over here is one of the two 95-litre fresh water tanks. All of the tanks are covered in gale sheet protection, so that's the left one. And then in the center there is a 50-litre grey water tank. And then to the right over here is the other 95-litre freshwater tank. The motorhome features a Thetford cassette toilet with a ceramic lid and ceramic bowl, and here is the cassette. At the rear of the motorhome, at the top, there is a reverse camera. I'll show you the monitor when we go into the cab area of the Mercedes a little bit later. Below we have some tail lights and indicator lights and so forth, and number plate bracket. Customers have the ability to option the motorhome up with a tow bar, and there's a support bar visible just beneath the number plate bracket down at the rear. On the driver's side of the motorhome at the rear is the grey water tank outlet. Now just beyond the outlet is the exhaust for the diesel heater, which we run onto the driver's side of the motorhome. On the left, the two fresh water tank fillers, which are lockable. To the right of that is an external shower. And then just below is a mains pressure inlet with an outlet tap. And then there's these two valves here which are also linked up to the fresh water tanks. So when your mains pressure is hooked up to the inlet over here and there's pressure running through the motorhome, you can flick either of these valves and actually fill the fresh water tanks up from your inlet instead of having to use your water tank fillers up here. Here's the 15-amp inlet and circuit breaker for the motorhome. Over to the right of the 15-amp inlet is an inlet for park cable. On the driver's side we also have another LED. There are three storage lockers on the driver's side of the motorhome. This one on the left is an open locker. At the moment it's got a wheel chock fitted in there. In the center are two of the lithium batteries that are fitted. These are iTech World 120 amp hour X Pros. And then to the right of the lithium batteries is the gas compartment, which features the two 4.5 kilo gas bottles. Above the center locker is the backing plate for the 28-litre Swift hot water unit, which is operable off 240-volt electricity or gas. We utilize a sandwich panel composite construction for the right, rear, and left walls of the motorhome, along with the floor. The sandwich panel is 32mm thick and features two sheets of fiberglass that are bonded together with an XPS foam core center. The roof construction of the motorhome is an aluminium frame that's insulated, and it features a fiberglass sheet roof. At the entry we have the Dometic entry door. Now this door, once you pull it open, you can separate it via flicking this little lever here, and then the glass outer door separates, and it's on a magnet, so it's just magnetized to the body of the motorhome, and then you're left with this fly screen. There's LEDs on the entry steps, fire extinguisher and up and down button for the electric entry step here on the left. On the right of the entry steps is a grab handle, and then there is also the in and out button for the electric awning and switches. Now I've just come into the cab of the Mercedes and we're greeted with the steering wheel. You can use the trackpad here on the right to navigate through the screen on the cluster. And you get some information regarding your trip and so forth. And then the left-hand side trackpad can be utilized to control the screen here in the center. Your passenger can also utilize the touchscreen compatibility to navigate through the settings and so forth. Climate control at the bottom. There's some cup holders throughout the cab. There's some more up here, along with some storage compartments. And another one in front of the passenger. The Mercedes-Benz features Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You simply plug your phone in with the USB-C port that's in this center console and it'll appear on the center screen. I've now powered the vehicle on and the reverse camera becomes active via the screen that's above the center console. There's a lockable storage area just above the passenger seat. As standard in the loot and peak area above the cab of the motorhome are storage cupboards. Customers have the ability to option up the loot and peak area with a lift-up bed. All overhead cupboards feature a gas strut and piano hinges. The Mercedes-Benz features the Motorhome pack. Part of the pack is the swivel seat functionality of the passenger and driver's seat. The seating area features a kick-up footrest, diamond stitched seating, along with a headrest and a tri-fold out table. Now I've just folded the tri-fold out table back in. Above the table is a window. To the left of that is a fan. And then below the fan is a USB and USB-C port along with a double power point. The overhead cupboard features an LED strip light and a map reading light in the corner, along with a water tank gauge for your two 95-litre fresh water tanks, which if it gets annoying, you can just power it off. Now just above the seating area is 3 overhead cupboards, which feature the electrics cabinet for the motorhome. We go and utilize an Enerdrive inverter / battery charger. This is a 2000 watt inverter / 80 amp battery charger with a remote display, which I'll show you in a moment when we get over to it in the kitchen. To the right of the inverter / charger are the fuses for the two 200 watt solar panels that are fitted to the roof. There's some further fuses above that. There's a battery protector to the left of that. Up on the right over here is a DC to DC charger with a MPPT input for the solar panels on the roof. So while the engine is running, the DC to DC charger through the alternator of the vehicle will be charging the 2 lithium batteries that we viewed earlier in the lower locker. Alternatively, when the vehicle is not running, your solar panels will be charging your lithium batteries through the solar input in that DC to DC charger. It's a 40 amp solar controller and DC to DC charger. There's a power lead over there for the microwave, which we'll get to in a moment as well. 12 volt water pump switch on the right, and then there are the 2 switches for the hot water unit that we viewed earlier also. So you can operate it, as I mentioned, off 240 volt electricity or gas. So dependent upon where you're located and what you wish to power your hot water unit off, you will go and flick either of these 2 switches. We utilize the ePro battery monitor from Enerdrive to give us a percentage reading of the batteries at all times. There's a shunt fitted onto one of the terminals of the battery, which will relay the voltage back to this monitor in lifetime. To the right of those overhead cupboards is the NCE microwave. This is a dishless model, so there's no dish that'll be rattling around while you're driving the motorhome annoying you. Below that is the Dometic 188 litre compressor fridge, which has a freezer at the top. And then the fridge compartment is at the bottom. So at the moment, the fridge is actually operating off the 2 lithium batteries that are in that lower locker. When you go and plug the motorhome into 240 volt electricity, the fridge will start to operate off 240 volt. so it's a two-way fridge. Above the entryway and the main door is a magazine pouch with a 32-inch smart TV fitted above. Above the sink and the cooktop, grill and oven are some overhead cupboards. The one on the right features the 12-volt socket for the 32-inch TV and the antenna port along with the double power point. The one on the left has all the manuals and so forth for the motorhome at the moment. Just below that is the NCE drop-down range hood, which simply tucks away by clicking it upwards. Below the range hood is the Swift cooktop, grill and oven. Now, the top left is a 240-volt hot plate. The remaining three burners of the cooktop are gas. There's a gas griller beneath and a gas oven. We utilize the Swift componentry being the cooktop, grill and oven and the hot water unit because they are an Australian made product. They're made over in Campbellfield in close proximity to our dealership. For additional bench space, we've gone and incorporated a drop-down bench which comes out of that right cupboard next to the entry door, along with a recessed bench top. The tap for the sink obviously features hot and cold water out of the first spout, but the second spout is for filtered water by flicking this little knob down the bottom. To the left of the kitchen, at the overhead cupboard, is the Pioneer touchscreen display for the stereo, which controls your internal and those two external speakers that we saw earlier. To the left of that is the on and off button for the Dometic inverter. So simply hold down the button and your inverter will be powered on. As standard, the 2000 watt inverter is linked up to all of the black power points that are throughout the motorhome. In the center of the roof of the motorhome is the new model reverse cycle air conditioner from Dometic. This is the FreshJet 7 Series Pro, and as I said, it's a reverse cycle, so you can utilize it for heating and cooling. The new model even has a LED built into both sides of the air conditioner. On both sides of the east-west bed is hanging space in the wardrobe with a shelf at top. At the base is another double power point, the Webusto diesel heater control, and also another USB/USB-C port. Underneath the bedside table is a long drawer. Above the island bed are three overhead cupboards. The center cupboard features a shelf. There's an LED strip below that, along with two map reading lights and a magazine pouch on the right hand side. The east-west bed area also features a window, a mini bed head and a bolster to extend the length of the mattress. The east-west bed is on gas struts, so I've just lifted it up now, and there is a large storage compartment below the east-west bed. There's a privacy screen for the cab area, so that covers the passenger window, driver's window and the windscreen. And then on the left over here is the diesel heater. There is an inlet for air on this side, and then the outlet for the diesel heater is over here. As I said before, the control panel to turn it off and on is on the bedside table. All of the windows in the motorhome feature a blind and fly screen. Above the east-west bed, we feature another fan, and this is roof mounted obviously. These fans have 3 speeds, and there's also a built-in timer which you can press the right button to go and set the timer on either 3, 6, 9 or 12 hours. When not in use, you can go and stow the fan away like so. And then here is the 24-inch TV, the smart TV that we had outside just a moment ago. I've gone and fitted it to the bracket on the left-hand side across from the bed. There's more USB ports and USB and USB-C. In the overhead cupboard is where the TV gets its power supply from, and there's an antenna port as well, and another double power point. To the left of that is the smoke detector for the motorhome. Just before we enter the ensuite, just above we have a push-up hatch with a built-in LED. There's also a mirror fitted to each side of the wardrobes. Now we're going to make our way into the ensuite. The ensuite features a sliding door. There's a mirror in the entry, light above, some overhead cupboards, a window on the right, a fan and hatch just above. There's a towel rail here on the sliding door, and then another towel rail and toilet roll holder. And then just below that is the Thetford ceramic lid and bowl toilet. To the left of the toilet is a lift-up lid with some storage area for dirty towels and so forth. There is a 3.3 kilo top loader washing machine just next to that with a door at the front for accessibility in the future. Sink and bowl, some storage drawers below, and a storage cupboard. And now to the left of the ensuite is the privacy screen for the shower. We'll go and open that up. We utilize a one-piece fiberglass shower. At the top there's the shower head that's visible, and above that we have another hatch/fan with an LED on the right. Just gone and slid the door shut so you can see what it looks like. The motorhome also comes standard with the Wi-Fi alarm system and GPS tracker fitted. Now, if the alarm is armed and the main entry door is opened, the sensor on the door will trigger the alarm system. Alternatively, if somebody enters in through the front of the vehicle because it's not locked, the motion sensor will then go and activate, and what will happen is the horn that's fitted to the motorhome will sound and all the exterior parking lights will start to flash. When ordering a motorhome, our clients have the ability to choose the door colour, the splashback colour in the kitchen and ensuite area, along with the benchtop colour in the kitchen and ensuite area also. There's a multitude of colours for the floor that are available. Clients have the ability to choose their interior seating colour also. If our standard specification does not meet your individual requirements, please feel free to contact us and we can have a discussion about incorporating a component that may be missing and on your requirements list. Thank you very much for watching this walkthrough video of the Mercedes-Benz Regal dual motorhome. If you have any questions or wish to find out some further information regarding this model or any of our other models that we offer, please feel free to contact us via our details in the description of this video.